Hello, people. It's been a while, right? It's working. It's been a while, right? There we go. Excellent. It's working. All right, so I'm running out of time. I got to get this truck put back together and get it ready for racing this weekend as Emerson Sturgeon and I decided that we were going to run truck at the Carpet Offroad Triple Scoop. It's just a 3-race series at the HobbyPlex coming up over the next 4 weeks. And I can only make the first 2. So I got to make them count. As you can see, there's not much here. So what I got to do is flip the body mounts around so that my T5 body works with it, because I'm too cheap to get new paint jobs. So, and then I got to put the front shocks back on, and then I got to start thinking about the electronics. I thought I had a speed controller here, but apparently I don't, so that's going to have to wait until probably Friday afternoon when I have some time. So first things first, we're going to get the shocks put back on, and Emerson confiscated the front shocks because they were Kashima shocks and put them on his truck. So I have his shocks from his truck to put on my truck. And then I want to open up the diff to see if this is a gear diff or if it's a ball diff. I have a feeling that this, actually I think this is a gear diff, but we'll find out. So let's get started. Let's get started. It's been a long time since I've even worked on anything. Quite honestly, I've taken kind of a self-imposed hiatus from working on too much stuff. Obviously, I ran my buggy this weekend, but my carpet car is pretty good and didn't really need a whole lot of maintenance or anything, so seemed to be okay. I did break a servo on it, which I haven't done in a long time, but the gears didn't break. It's just like the servo motor finally quit. It was going really slow to one side, so I swapped it out with a different servo, and that's that. Seemed to work fine. So we're going to grab some springs, and I got my carpet tires, Fuzz Bites and Swaggers from J Concepts, ready to go, and pretty sure those are them. Peter Renault's here. How's it going? Racing in Michigan again. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. We, you know what? I might use these. I was given serious thought to go into the INS race. Not the INS, the NT. The National Turf and Carpet Championship Series? NTCS? Anyways, at RC1, but I think they're full. So I waited too long to think about it, apparently. How much is it to race on the Family Fridays? Family Fridays in Plex Spec Beginner is $5. If you're in like 8 scale or stock buggy or any of those, well then it's $20. But if you're just racing Plex Spec, like you're just a beginner and you're racing Plex Spec, it's just $5. So Emerson and I have been using buggy front springs on his truck recently, and we've basically been trying to find the hardest front spring we can possibly get. And he's also borrowed my tools this last week, so a lot of my parts are kind of not where they're supposed to be. So I'm going to try these Yokomo springs that I have first. You never know. Throw something at it. might stick. But I just want to get the truck together more than anything. It's been like a... It's been kind of borrowed. Like the batteries... Look, there's no battery tray. There's no battery tray. I just realized that. This doesn't have a battery tray. So I gotta get that too. So... Hang on a second. Okay, so if I don't turn the furnace back on, my wife's going to be really mad at me, so I can't forget to do that. That would be bad. But it's loud and that gets annoying, so... So what everybody else is doing. I know Peter's been racing carpet in the States and over there in Michigan. Carpet and dirt, I think. We just wrapped up our... Carpet Offroad Syndicate, and kind of felt like a grind this year. Just felt long for some reason. But it is what it is. This is the first time that I've ever won. Actually, won 2-wheel mod, but it's the first time that I'd ever done that. In previous years, I've like bought weird cars. Like last year I had the Schumacher Cougar and kind of struggled with it, so kind of skewed my points. And then the previous year I had a Yokomo, and that was a good car. I just broke a lot, kind of like the Schumacher. And then the year before that I had the Losi car, which I had some success with, but I think that was one of the years that Will just drove away from all of us. And then the year before that, I don't remember what I started the Carpet Syndicate with that year. Might have just used my dirt car. I don't know. What do I do if a new ball cup is too tight? So Will has this thing where he told me I should get titanium ball studs, because apparently they're just like a hair smaller in diameter than the regular 5.5 ball stud. I've never done that. I haven't done it yet, but he says that that's the fix for those tight ball studs, ball cups. I do think that the new associated ball cups are different from the old ones, even though they're the same size and they're basically the same color. But for some reason they feel different. So, you know, you got to be careful because you don't want to like squeeze them and misshape them or anything, because then they'll pop off easier. You could try to polish the ball, which is a fun thing to say. Or just replace it with another one and see if it's better, I guess. That's probably the easiest option. Just replace it with another one and see if that mold is better than the one you have. Or find some titanium ball studs. Okay. Sometimes you can just kind of let it work in too, but that's kind of the hacky way to do it. Does the Plex have B6-1 aluminum stand-up motor plates? I don't know. I just went through. I just went through our associated aisle recently and got rid of a bunch of stuff that hadn't sold, and I bet you stand-up parts probably aren't there anymore. But if you remind me tomorrow, I work at noon, so Central Time. So maybe send me a message and I'll see. I'll look for you. I think carbon ones are fine. In fact, I mean, if you're going for the weight thing, I think carbon ones are probably the way to go. I think the carbon ones are less likely to bend. I have seen these motor plates bend before. Let's see where my body sits. So in order to get a T5M body to work on a T6, you have to use the body mount and you got to flip it. You got to flip it around. I've done this on Emerson's truck before. But I will say that I did that with the shocks in the back, which maybe I'll have to do again because this isn't quite lining up. Oh. Well, that's a bummer. That's okay though. That truck works really good. Yeah, I wouldn't try to do the squeeze thing. I like on my 8 scale. On my 8 scales in the past, like Losi cups sometimes were a little too tight when they were brand new, and you could take some pliers and just kind of like squeeze them. But they were also captured. They're not like true ball cups with ball studs. There was a a bushing and a screw going through them, so you could kind of get away with that. And it always put spacers on them anyway, so it was harder for them to come off. But ball cups, yeah, I don't think you want to do that too much. I think it'd be more like either try another cup and see if it's loose. I mean, I suppose you could always, like I said, you could always try to if you got like a Dremel and a polishing tool, you could always try to polish the ball. I've never done that myself, actually. So I'm giving you advice that I've never actually done myself before. So here's the deal. I'm gonna make this a rear shock truck because I want the body to fit. That's all I'm doing that for, is for the body to fit, because I'm too cheap and I don't want to get a new body. So we're gonna move it to the back. Andrew Thomas has his truck ready. See, all these guys, I didn't want to show up Saturday without a truck because I've been telling everybody that we're going to race truck, and Emerson's got his truck ready. So I got to get my truck ready. I don't want to let anybody down. Oh, come on. Hey, Peter, did you know that Bandai has just released a new Boba Fett Mandalorian version? So it's the Book of Boba Fett armor. So it's like all nice and stuff. Yeah. Instead of all scarred and scraped up and everything. We just got it into the Plex today. We got 2 of them. I was going to buy one, but I have a backlog of models. I was looking at that today. I've got a General Grievous, Slave 1, an AT-AT, MPC X-Wing, and an MPC B-Wing that I haven't built yet. So I didn't want to get another model and like get myself even more bogged down than I already am. But I thought that was pretty cool. I actually thought about, hey, I know a guy. I'm actually still thinking about possibly getting another Mando or another Boba Fett anyways and like repainting it. And so I can make like a Mandalorian clan basically. I don't know. I'll be interested to see what... oh, come on. Really? I'm really interested to see what they come up with as far as like the clans and stuff go coming up here in season 3 of The Mandalorian. There we go. I was afraid I'd strip those. That would have really sucked if I had stripped those. Where did my other... Oh, there it is. Come on. Yeah, I'm actually really interested to see if they bring Boba into the whole Mandalorian retaking of Mandalorian of the oh geez. It looks like they're going to try to like reestablish the Mandalorians on Mandalorian, like the planet, which is escaping, and it doesn't matter. Anyways, I'll be curious to see if they bring Boba into that, because now they just got his thing on Tatooine. Does he really need to deal with any of that? I'm more interested to see what kind of armor they put on Grogu. Or if they do that. I think that'd be sick. Okay, now where did that go? So now... Ah. Is that it? Oh, it's so close. I think it needs to come out. Why do I think that I didn't use this one when I did it on the other truck? Because I think it's too far. Yeah, I think it's too far. Shit. For some reason, I feel like I cut that. I didn't. Where am I at? 13? About halfway. I like it kind of tight, because I slow down before I tend to slow down before I strip screws. I'm not saying I've never stripped a screw, but... I do slow down a little bit when I do that, and sometimes I'll go back and I hand tighten the rest. Okay, well, I know that's how I made this body work, but I can't remember how I had it on Emerson's truck. Yeah, the tower's back behind it. See? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Because if it goes here, then it hits everything. Okay. I'm going to look at something real fast. Let's see if I have the skinnier version of that wing mount. Otherwise, I'll just move on to the other stuff I wanted to look at. Want to see what kind of diff is in there. Hopefully it's a gear diff. If not, they're not crazy expensive, so... Yeah, it's the same. They're not crazy expensive, so it won't hurt to get one. It'd just be nice not to have to do it. All right. Well, I'll leave that off to the side for now. Let's see what we got here. In fact, we're gonna take the shock back off. I'll need to adjust the probably need to adjust the gearbox, the diff height anyways, so might as well get all that done and see what we can come up with here. Oh, come on. I did get this truck used, so there is some weird screws every once in a while. There we go. We pretty much used all the electronics that came with this truck, and it came with an R1 motor, so Emerson stole that for his stuff. The MKS servo ended up in my four-wheel drive, and the speed controller ended up in his two-wheel drive buggy, and he actually blew it up the other day. So I was pretty butthurt about that. And this is a gear or a ball diff. Okay. Okay. Wow, it's filthy in there. Does have the metal. I didn't even realize it, but it does have the metal diff height holders in there, so that's really good. And they're already set at what I want, so shoot, I have to get a gear diff. That bums me out. I could take it for my buggy since I'm not going to run buggy. But my buggy's at work, so put that on the list tomorrow. The stuff I got to get. Gear diff. I actually don't have to. So the last time I ran truck for the Syndicate, was it last year or the year before that? It doesn't really matter, but I actually ran the first half of it with a ball diff because I was too cheap to get a gear diff, and it was fine. Just had to watch it because it is 13.5 too, so it's not really that hard on the diffs on carpet. If I was running a mod, for certain you'd have to get a gear diff. What type of diff do you use for clay? You definitely should be using a ball diff. Any sort of dirt racing, in my opinion, even if it is high traction clay, slicks and all that, ball diffs are still going to be a lot better, just straight up better. So. The X4, Eric Jarman's on here. The X4 I bought used was an absolute lemon. The amount of money I spent getting into it almost ended up being equaling a new kit. I hope this truck's pretty nice. Yeah, I think the truck's fine. But the truck itself, I mainly bought the truck for the electronics it came with. So it came with a $100 servo, a $200 speed controller, a $100 motor, and a $84 battery, and then the truck. And I bought it for $350. So, this truck's got aluminum hubs on it. It has some of the J-Concepts aluminum stuff. It's got the J-Concepts honeycomb motor mount. It's got the Exotech front. It's got the Exotech front camber mount, and it's got the J-Concepts titanium front axles, and it's got the J-Concepts aluminum bell crank. So it came with good stuff. It's just every once in a while you're like, I've been through that before. So a long time ago, I bought a gas truck used, actually, that I thought I was getting a steal on. It was $400 on eBay, and kind of like what you're saying, I pretty much ended up spending more to get that truck, like I almost replaced almost every single thing on that thing, so I was better off just buying a factory team kit and going from there. So I hear you, but this is the truck was basically a bonus, you know. That's what sucks about Emerson blowing that speaking shoulder up a couple weeks ago. Was that was like one of the whole reasons why I got this truck, because it already had a a Hobby Wing G2 Elite ESC. Dang it! But the only bummer about that is the speaking shoulder needed to be rewired because it was so close to the battery mount that you could almost like not move it. And I think the battery that we had ended up getting flipped, and that's why it touched and went, you know. So kind of sucks. It's kind of a bummer. I actually think the SC might even still work, but it's finicky. It's got that weird Hobby Wing thing where sometimes, even though it's got the cap on it, sometimes when you plug a speaking shoulder in backwards, even with the cap, like now it's got this weird kind of hesitancy to it, kind of a delay. So it's best to just take it out and call it a day. And I have really good luck with just stocks. Like, that's what I ran all last year in my my 4-wheel drive. Was a just stock ESC. I think Emerson and I are going to go through all of our electronics this spring here shortly, and kind of take a inventory of what we have. And I might be selling some stuff cheap, and just kind of starting over with some new motors, and probably not new speaking shoulders, at least not for my like my mod car, you know. There's no reason to mess with it, so I haven't messed with it. So it's pretty dialed, so I won't be really changing this electronic wise. And my 4-wheel drive is really good and it's fast, but I was thinking about maybe updating the motor. It's the motor, and it's, you know, a year old. Emerson's 17.5 car. I kind of want to see him do well this year, so I might end up trying to get him some new gear as well. So I don't know. We'll look at it. We're gonna look at everything and see what we can do. Yeah, I'm interested in that slot machine, that new Trinity slot machine that's been out for a little while. I might give that a go. I don't know. I really like Motive Motors because I really like Paul. Paul's a nice dude and stands behind his stuff. You can just sort of, he actually picks up his own phone, you know, so you can if you have an issue with something, you know, he'll fix it right away. And it's kind of weird. Like you hear like when I went to Masters of Dirt a couple of years ago, like I went down there. I was the only one running a Motive. Like the guy doing tech had never even seen one before, and I didn't even know how to open it up because they were making us open up our stuff. So that was kind of annoying, but it comes with the territory. So kind of is what it is. I'm gonna look at this one more time because I swear I had this working. Trackstar ESCs aren't. Trackstar's the cheap China stuff, isn't it? Horror stories of Trackstar ESCs blowing up, but I could have swore that was the Chinese cheap China stuff. I mean, everything's made in China, but there's different levels of quality, you know. Because Hobby Wing makes a lot of different ESCs for everybody. Maybe I'll just put new holes in. It's like so close. I can't believe that it doesn't fit in there. I wonder how I did my last one. Is there a different length between the buggy and the truck, maybe? Maybe that's what it is. You know? I think that's what it is, actually. Shoot, where do I have those at? Do I have any of those? I don't know where I want that. I'm missing a lot of comments here, sorry. The slot machine has to be better than X Factor. Yeah, I didn't hear very good things about the X Factor motor. That's weird. Plus, you had all that for a while there. You had all the stators were coming loose, right? Is that the X Factor motors? Is that what that was? I think that's what that was. Well, now that I know what I'm looking for, I might be able to find in my parts thing here. It's the buggy. I use the buggy wing mount extender on the truck to get the right length for what I was doing. So I need to find the buggy version of this. It won't be as strong, but since the body mounts to the inside anyways, I don't think it's going to matter. I'm just trying to remember where I had those parts at, because I got all these different parts bins everywhere, and not everything's in the same spot. Kind of sucks. Those are the loci ends. We don't need those. That's all the TLR stuff. Those are the other ball ends. That's for the four-wheel drive. Oh man, what bag do those come in? Shoot, shoot, shoot. Thought for sure. Might have to look in one of my boxes over here. I've got like boxes of stuff. Associated boxes of stuff with the option pieces in there. I think that's what the bag that comes in. But I'm gonna look up here just for the fun of it. I feel like there's a lot of stuff from the top of my box missing, which leads me to believe that maybe my son like forgot to put the thing on, then tipped it over somehow. Does the Plex carry R1 or plan on carrying R1 motors? Yeah, that's something I need to get on. So I'm currently tracking down a couple new manufacturers for this summer. R1's on my list. Much more is on my list of stuff I want to get in the store. I have Tim. Hopefully Tim's looking at Donathan RC so we can get their cables and stuff in. If not, I'm just going to order them anyways. And then Nitro Pro servos is I actually just got a couple emails back and forth, and I think we're already set up with his dealer account. So 8Go guy should be pretty happy about that. I'm trying to think where else I would have that part at. I hate to leave the field of view, because anybody coming on will just see a big empty space. But hopefully, with me talking in the background, nobody goes anywhere. Because I know I have these here, maybe, somewhere, possibly, sort of. Oh, wait a minute. All right, I know what I'm going to do. Just because I want to do it. Eric, I see what you're saying. So I have two R1 motors. One I got used with this truck. The other one I got from Rendernecht. And I'm not gonna I hope this doesn't come across the wrong way, but I like to be honest. I didn't think it was that fast. It could have been the fact that I had to find the sweet spot for gearing it, maybe. And I do feel like I figured that out when I went to Hobby Action. I dropped a B74.2 diff in my TLR car so that I could use the 72 tooth spur gear. And then I kept this pinion gear the same, so that was a jump in like 5 teeth on the spur gear side. And I do feel like my 4-wheel drive got a little faster, but I don't know. I think I was expecting... I feel like I was expecting like a wow factor type difference, and I didn't get that, so I don't know. When I had my when I motor analyzed all my 13.5 motors. I had 4 of them at the time, and R1 I didn't have my R1 yet, but my my V3 Hobbywing 13.5 was actually the fastest out of all that group with the same amp draw. It had the higher KV. So I went with that motor in my 4-wheel drive car last year up until I got my R1 motor. So again, I think I was expecting, you know, like a oh my gosh factor, but it wasn't there. And I think part of it's because I had to find the sweet spot for gearing. So again, that's not a knock on anybody. It's just my own personal experience. Oh, come on now. So take that for what it is. That being said, I kept throwing gear at that thing over and over and over. Like, I just kept on throwing gear God, I can't talk tonight. At Hoosier, I kept throwing gear at it on that big track and never got hot. Like you said in your comment here, I could not get that motor hot at all. So with that, you know, that is something to be said for sure. But I ended up actually gearing down, and my lap times got faster. So again, it was kind of like finding the sweet spot. And I think with that motor, switching to the B74 diff so I could run a smaller spur gear seemed to really be the ticket, really, for that motor. Ooh, that's close. I'm not actually going to leave this in here for a while like that, but I probably could. But I'll just get new pieces. It's kind of a goobery thing to do, to steal something off of a car that's already put together and working fine. But since we're not running dirt till March 5th, I'm just going to put these screws back in here and kind of call it good until I need it. I'll just get new wing mount pieces and leave it at that. Chili Duncan's on here asking about the Hobby Haven race. And yes, Emerson and I will be attending that race this year. It actually kind of works out. It's Memorial Day weekend. We usually don't do anything special, you know. We're not campers or anything like that. So I am planning on being there to race two-wheel mod and something 13.5 4-wheel drive, and then probably stock slash, just because. And I'm really looking forward to spring because I normally get off of work Wednesdays really early, and if I can, what I'd like to do is, look at that. What I'd like to do is go on a Wednesday night a couple times as well. So, yep, we're planning on going. As of this moment, that's the plan. Plan on rain then. Yeah, right? You would think after the... is that too long? No, it's not too long. You would think after the springs, the last year and a half with the drought we've been having, that we're probably due for a really wet year sometime. So... But yeah, I was looking at that and I was kind of excited. Yeah, I know. Well, my Slash is at the track. It's ready to go. It's just like it just needs. We just need more than 2 people to show up. It's kind of, and then we have to like. There you go. Look at that. That's what it was. It was the buggy. The buggy spacer. So, haha, yay. Stock Slash is a blast. We have to like tell a couple people to calm down, like to tone it down a hair though. I think if we want it to grow back to be fun again for everybody, because it's fun for me no matter what. But I think in order to be fun, more fun again to make it grow, we have to put a rule: no head-on collisions, because I think that's what was like scaring some people away, or making them not want to race, is because I'm not going to name names, but there was a few drivers on Friday that were taking what we do to the extreme level of carnage and actually going like head-on with people, and that's not what we should be doing. So I'm all for like. I think the takeout part of it is fun. I think that like it's a great stress reliever, and it's a way to like develop some defensive driving skills, to like see somebody coming and you know that they're going to aim for you or whatever, and not to be upset about that. But the head-on stuff, I think we have to put the kibosh on that, for sure, because that's not that's. I didn't care, but yeah, anyways, there you go. I just realized that I might not have servo mounts tonight for this thing either, because this is the T6, the T6.2 that still goes into the side rails. And I got my J Concepts servo mount thing in one of my drawers in my pit area. Shoot. I'm also missing a box. I think I left it at work, so dang it. But that's okay. So with this thing, I got everything that I wanted to look at, really. So I got the body mounted. Had to move the shocks to the back. It's got a ball diff, so I'm gonna have to buy a gear diff tomorrow. I could probably mount the tires and get those going. Get them on here just so it looks good. Eric Jarman says, once spring rolls around, them, I'm sure myself and Heide will make it out more often. Yeah, I know Trev's going to be leaving soon. And Fridays have been really good. The last couple of Fridays, the start of the year, it's weird. I expected there to be more racers on on Friday. The first Friday of the year has traditionally been one of the biggest race days, club race days that we have in all of the wintertime, right? But this last Friday, or the first Friday, which would have been January 7th, I think, it actually wasn't. But this last Friday, we had 36 Plex speckers and a whole bunch of 8 scales and stuff. So I'm glad to see that we're kind of back to normal levels with that. Yeah, I'll have my Slash with me. Like I said, I think we need to have a little talk, a little driver's meeting about what's acceptable carnage and what isn't, you know. So, yeah. It is fun, but I can see how some people are like, dude, I don't want to do that. I'd get my truck destroyed. The thing is it's a Slash. Like, who cares? But, you know, for some, I can see if that's the only vehicle they have or their second car, you know, they don't want to get it all destroyed. So I can definitely see why they might not want to participate in our stock Slash class, which is kind of messy. So all right, good deal. Didn't get everything done that I wanted to tonight, but at least I got most of it done. I have a sway bar around here somewhere too for this. I don't know where I put it though. Okay, this is going to go up here for a minute. And, oh, I know what I wanted to do. Hang on. So we're back to this bad boy. And, I got some J Concepts Golden Years tires for this thing. And I was supposed to get wheels too, but they didn't show up, so we're just gonna use the wheels that are on it and call it good. I actually did plug this thing in and make sure it runs, and then I just got to get the servo. Still got to get the servo mounted, but I need an actual like servo arm instead of the one I have, so still a little ways to go with this thing. I've been playing with this thing for like a while. Be really cool if Chili's on here, if Hobby Haven's going to do another monster truck thing. I'd actually like to go and bring this and race it like a monster truck race. I think that'd be awesome. This is a J Concept. Eric Charman wants to know, what is that thing? This is a Clodbuster. It's a J Concepts regulator chassis, J Concepts on the axle steering mount, and I haven't actually driven it yet, ever. But part of that's just because it's kind of a side project. You know, we don't really have anything monster truck related, you know, to do at the Plex, so it's just kind of been one of those things that I kind of pick at every once in a while. And I still got to get the body painted. I still got to find like a 70s afro wig that I can glue to it, because the name of the truck is Froboy. So I still have a lot that I want to do with this thing. Oh, come on. But I do have it built, and it does work, so it's pretty awesome. The Smoking Rat dropped a super chat. That's awesome. You know, crazy story. 2 years ago, I did well enough on YouTube that I actually got a 1099, right? So I had to report it tax season. This year, it looks like I didn't make enough on YouTube to get a tax form, and I'm actually really happy about that because it's like one less thing to stress over. I gotta say, nobody makes it easy to figure out the whole tax thing when it comes to, like, you know, the gig economy. I don't know why they make it so freaking hard to figure out which boxes to check and, you know, where to put the amounts and what you can deduct and all that sort of thing. So kind of bums me out in one regard, but at the same time, not really. Yeah, so this thing is pretty freaking sweet. It's my clodbuster that I'm actually going to run, and it uses a shorty pack. So, got a shorty pack spaced right there for one of my batteries. It's got this the J Concepts kit comes with this big old piece of brass underneath of here, and when I was putting it together, I actually partially stripped, I think, or maybe I broke it off, but I did something in this brass piece and I was freaking out about it, so I had to drill it out and make it work again. And then I used Traxxas, the Traxxas GTR shocks. They're not the regular big bores for a Traxxas Slash. They're the next step up. They're like what come with the Slash Ultimate, and I used the same ones front and rear, so it's pretty silky smooth, man. But it's an actual kit that J Concepts has. So this chassis is a J Concepts regulator chassis, and then I don't know if you guys can see it, but instead of the servos being like a regular clodbuster, like my bull head up here, the servos are in the middle of the chassis. It's got this rod that comes all the way through and attaches to the front. And then the J Concepts kit puts a servo behind the axle here, and then there's a steering arm right here. And I got to get the right servo arm to get that to work. So, but since I got these tires and they're really big packages, I want to get them. I want to get them mounted. So I figured I'd do that for a little while. We've been on for how long have we been on here? Yeah, I've been on for about an hour, so got a little bit of time left to go. So yeah, this thing's gonna be freaking sweet when I actually get it running. And the body I'm putting on it, I've showed this before on here, but the body I'm putting on it is the Subaru Brat body from the Tamiya Subaru Brat that I haven't built yet. And then the idea is, I think I'm just going to paint it a solid color, because I got stickers from a friend of mine that say Froboy, and they've used a like a silhouette picture of me behind it. So I wanted to put it here and then on the sides, and then right about here I wanted to put this giant like Halloween fro like wig thing on the back, so that when it drives, it's got this fro that's like shaking around. So I think that'd be super funny. So, yeah, so I'm working on that, and eventually I'll have it ready to go. Oh, jeez. But we've been doing it for a while, or I've been thinking about it for a while, and I'm just a procrastinator, you know? It's not like we race them or anything like that, so boy, these are gonna be tough to get off.
Hey, what race is it Saturday? Is it
Triple scoop.
Oh, the first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got your truck ready?
I thought that was crashing.
I thought that was triple scoop.
Well, it could be both.
I've been telling people it's triple scoop.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, both, I guess.
Okay.
But I have fuzz lights glued up.
I know.
I just need to get electronics. I just need a servo and a motor.
You need a servo and a motor? Where are you going to get that from?
I'll I'll just probably swap out electronics from my 4-wheel drive.
Okay.
Unless, what's in my drag car?
Not that. Your drag car's got a 17.5 in it.
No,
It's-
servo.
Oh, it doesn't. You don't want to use that one. It's in your drag car. So I put a servo in my son's drag car that doesn't exactly turn all the way in one direction. But since it's a drag car, it doesn't really matter. Holy crap! This thing is tight on here.
It's my TLR diff.
Yes, that is a TLR gear diff.
What happened?
I don't know. What do you mean? What happened?
It's all like gravel.
I don't know. You gotta clean it. It's probably an old one.
Yeah.
At least I have one for my car when it's time.
Oh. Show them.
Okay, so check this out. So, stock tire. Oh, they're so soft too. Is it blue compound? Yeah, blue compound. Look at that. They're the exact same size. That's great. So, that won't really change anything, which is good. But they're way stickier though, compound-wise. Like this feels like a tennis racket rubber. And this is like the actual good rubber. So, isn't that neat? It's kind of neat. The chevrons are definitely different. They're more rounded on the edges here than the stock Cloudbuster tire. So, you can see it's got the sharp edge here, and these are rounded. And so on the Cloudbuster, if you can see it, there's a line of rubber, and it closes off in between all the little chevrons here, whereas the J Concepts one, the gaps are all in there. So that's pretty rad. That's pretty cool. And then it's directional, so I got to make sure I put it on the direction that I'm gonna actually use it in the right. I don't want to get them crossed up. It's kind of like when you're mounting up ellipse tires or positrons. I don't know if any of you guys have ever done that before, but what's
Show me
that?
this.
What is that?
The mini servo mount, the metal one for the bigger servo.
Oh, so this, where'd you get this from?
From one of the guys that gave it to me.
Oh, so this is from Mini Night. So this is an actual metal servo mount for a Mini Bee, so that you can use like a one of the Racing servos or one of the Traxxas metal geared servos or the EcoPower servo that's meant to go in there.
The bigger one.
The bigger
Not
ones, the
small
bigger
one.
servos. So
They break less.
yeah, so they break less and they're probably more powerful too. So
And-
Emerson's going to put that on his Mini.
That one will be better than 3 pairs.
Probably order this. I'll probably order this one for mine.
Yeah, because
So I can eventually get a good servo on mine. I finally broke a stock servo in my Mini Bee. It took me all year. I've been running the same servo all year long.
I think I've broken at least like
But-
5 of the 3 printer ones.
Yeah, but he drives way harder than I do with his Mini. How much is that, you think? Have you looked it up?
I looked it up. It's like $21.99,
Oh, it's $21?
Yeah.
That's nothing.
and it has the cool horn too. See?
Yeah, and it comes with a horn?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
I don't know what tooth it is. I'm guessing 25.
Well, it should be the one that works with your with the servo that's supposed to go in there. Suppose I could do this in frame, just so people can see it. It's a lot easier getting them on, I can tell you that much. Yeah, I was pretty lucky. In fact, it's not the gears that are broken in my servo, because I tried to race Mini on Tuesday, got everything plugged in. Been a little while since I raced my car, and I went to go steer it, and I had nothing. There's nothing. It's like the servo is completely dead. So it took me a while to get it to that point, though, because I mean I've been through a lot of crashes and stuff, and I've broken some parts, and I actually broke the bell crank. Is what I actually broke last time, which is why I haven't been running in a while, and it looks like possibly maybe that's what killed that servo finally. So I was due. I haven't broken one yet, so I was due to break one, but it didn't break the gears. It just literally just killed the servo. they're foam filled too, whereas these are not. So it'll probably land better and stuff too when I actually do get the chance to drive it. Like I said, it's a little bit more rounded off. So I think the idea is these hard edges. If you're racing, right, you know, a monster truck, they already don't handle the best. So you're trying to smooth out the steering and everything too. So that's pretty neat. I don't know if you guys can read this or not. It's not golden years. It's gold years, right? No, it is golden years. Look at this side. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it says gold year. I don't know if you've ever seen one of these monster truck tires, but this one in particular is a Goodyear, but they can't say Goodyear because they'd have to pay Goodyear to make the Goodyear a Goodyear, so they call it Gold Year. Isn't that neat? You guys, I don't know if you guys can read that right there. So that's pretty sick. I'm going to glue them, but I'm not going to glue them right now. So they're pretty tight on there as it is. Might have some eBay tires here. I got a couple bodies still. I've got a bullhead body that I'm never going to use, and I'll have some Cloudbuster tires. Might be having an eBay extravaganza here one of these weeks. All right. Do they make aluminum bead locks for the Cloudbuster? I'm sure. I'm sure somebody does. Man, that's really tight on there. Holy crap. You guys are watching me struggle. This is what's going on. How did I get the other one off? So I'm in a scheduling conundrum right now because our summer series, I usually finish it the third week of September. And the Tamiya Championship Series finals actually are scheduled on on that date, right? So I can't schedule it then. And then I wanted to go to the Worlds to watch and to do some YouTube stuff for the Worlds. So my plan was to take that week off with vacation and jet set out to Phoenix. And then, so I couldn't put it on the 16th because that's when the Worlds are. And then I don't really like having it finish earlier than that, because it kind of puts a strain on me when it comes to getting all the awards done and finding, more giveaways, last minute giveaways and stuff. So I scheduled it September 30th, which seemed like a really good idea. Turns out that I didn't look at the schedule very well, and the INS race at Hoosier is that weekend, and I know that there's going to be some of our guys that will probably be going to that race. Oh, so now I'm like stressing out about where I'm actually going to finish it. I don't like to have it in October because I want our carpet racing to go there. So I got to think about it for a while. There's still more Summer Series racers that won't be traveling to an INS race in Indiana, right? It'll be a good group, but it won't be a huge group. So do I put the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few? Do I wait a week and put it the first weekend in October? Or do I push it all the way up to the first weekend in September? So I am in a conundrum about that. Looks like Eric's taking off, so thanks, Eric Jarman, for stopping in. I'll see you this weekend at some point. This is fun. This is fun. Kind of bummed out I didn't have a servo mount for my truck, but that's okay. It's at least I know the truck itself is together, and I'll be able to rock and roll with that. We're always busy. That's what it seems like. It's just, it never ends. For myself, going to the new RC pit stop in Kansas, in is it Newton, Kansas, for their for their inaugural big carpet race that they're having on their place. They use a little bit of different carpet. They use office carpet rather than, like, the black stuff. It's more permanent for off-road. They got the benefit of not having to pick everything up when the racing's over with. And then so I'm going down there. They asked me to announce, run the race, be the race director or whatever. So my Talking Fish side gig has another race to go to, and then immediately following that race is our big race for carpet, the Crash In. Crash In 6. We've been doing it for 6 years. Carpet off-road for 6 years in the wintertime. And I got to tell you, when it comes to the end of winter, right? When I'm all gung-ho in October, but having to put that carpet truck up every Friday and take it down almost every Saturday is one of the most annoying things ever. So I am kind of ready to get carpet done and over with. So I'm kind of looking forward to get these last 4 races kind of in the books, and get back to dirt and springtime. You can kind of feel spring coming. I can. Like, it's the end of January. It's going to be really, really cold here for the next, 10 days at least. I looked at the 10-day forecast, and it's terrible. It's like 7 degrees. So, once again, we go back to living in a freezer for 6 months. But I cannot wait for spring to get back to dirt. And we've got a lot of improvements and stuff to do to the Plex. For this spring build, we always kind of build a brand new track to start the season out with for the Pro Tech race in the end of April, and we're going to paint the back wall again. I'm actually going to paint it like a brown color. I think it's going to look really nice. Our new pit lane's going in, so that's going to be amazing. I've got some new speakers going up, hopefully this weekend sometime. That'll help with being able to hear stuff for the Nitro crowd. And yeah, I'm ready to go. Plus, we always kind of we have to do like a spring cleaning almost too, just because we accumulate so much crap over the course of the wintertime. So yeah, Friday's supposed to be 41, and then Saturday it starts off it's one of those weird days where, like, the high is at 12:01 Saturday morning, and then from then on it just, like, dives down, and then Monday I think it's supposed to be like 7 or something like that. Ugh. What sucks about that is I don't have any heat in my truck. I need to get, like, a coolant flush, but I haven't had time or money to go do that, and so So I just deal with it. I just don't turn on the heater because then I don't have cold air blowing on me, and I just drive and then just deal with it. So Matt Lang, when does 24 scale crawling start? So Matt, I wanted to make a post yesterday and I didn't get around to it because I was emailing back and forth with a whole bunch of different people for some other stuff I was doing. But basically, on Tuesdays, I don't really know if I want to do like a comp. So the course is up, and I made 2 new panels too. I was gonna make a new video for YouTube with the new panels, but the course is up and it's running, and I wanted to make kind of Tuesday nights kind of a get together night, but I don't know about a comp because I don't know. Like last year, it was fun, but it was a lot of people and it took a long time, and I don't know. I kind of just think I think the 24 scale stuff's almost better off just being like a get together type deal instead of a comp type deal. So I think I'm still rolling with Tuesday nights being the night to come out, but it's ready. We've had people using it. We sold a lot of 24 scales during the Techno series with a lot of our racers. We're trying to find stuff to do. So yeah, I saw Victory doing the Tuesday thing. I hope they don't continue that in the springtime, because we're going back to Tuesdays for the 10 scale stuff regardless. So I don't want to see like a crosstown contradictory scheduling, because Tuesdays have always been our thing for doing that. So, and if so, I guess whatever. It's kind of funny because when I posted that we were doing that on Tuesdays for the last couple of years, people were always like, "Oh man, how come you don't do it on Saturdays, man? I can't come on Tuesdays. Tuesday sucks. That's a bad move, man. Oh, it's terrible. Oh, blah 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 blah." And so whatever. Come on, tires. This is hard. Getting them off is harder than getting them on. I almost need like a tire tool. This is stupid. Like the rubber is so tight on here that I'm trying to do this in front of you guys, but leverage wise, it's easier to have it below me than it is above me. Watch me stab myself with the wrench. There we go. Now I got it. Holy crap. I gotta do this one more time too. Ow. That's another thing I'm looking forward to is getting back out on the rocks. I've got some really cool ideas for adding to the crawler section next year. I'm going to take out that bridge against the bottom HobbyPlex wall that nobody really ever uses, and where the wasp nest was. I'm going to take all that away, and I think I'm going to build an outdoor 24 scale course there. I'm going to bring in some dirt from the track that I'm not using and pile it up there and make like a, I'm going to make a 24 scale outdoor course there with like a legit like trail for those guys. So it's probably going to be like, probably like 20 feet long, and then it'll be kind of built up against the wall, and then it'll come down, and I'm going to like carve into it with like a hoe, which I don't get to say very often. But yeah, that's the plan. Anyways, I think it should be fun. And then what I'm going to do, yeah, it's kind of for the TRX-4M crowd too. And then what I'm going to do is up top where I tried to make that little circular bit. So we're talking about our crawler course, and I always change stuff every year, but I'm going to try to fill in some room. So I've seen a couple things online where they're using the curved pavers, right? And you know that you put on like an edge of a garden, and then they stack them up, and then they have one curved this way, and then they have another one curved this way, and then they have another one curved that way, and then they have another one curved the opposite way. So they make like this wave, and because it's brick, you can get some grip on it. And I want to make like a rolling wave type thing along that wall, but on a bridge itself. Because like one of the things I heard last year was how when they did like the night comp that we had, like they didn't use any of our wood, right? Because they wanted to go on the rocks, which is fine. So what I'm going to try to do is build something up and then cover it with rock, kind of like I did with my home course here. So I'm going to try to do that. I think it's going to be really sweet. And I want to use that rolling landscaping brick because I think it'll look nice too. So I don't know. Those are just things I've been thinking of in the off season. And then I'm trying to decide if I want to build another crawler or not, or if I just go with my Vanquish. Kind of digging my Vanquish now. I'm going to get a different body for it, though. I'm going to get like a lower profile body for it. But I had to kind of learn how to drive it, so I think that's what I got to do. That alongside everything else I want to do. So, because we're having the J Concepts big INS race in July again this year, and I'd like to get some more fans kind of put around the pit lane, so not just on the driver's stand where we have the fans. I want to have a fan. So up on the driver's stand we've got two beams, one here, and we have a fan going this way, and then we have a fan right here going this way. But I want to put another fan on the opposite side of that, pointed this way towards the people that are in line waiting for the next group. And I want to have it be like a permanent thing. We already kind of messed with the sound, so that already sounds better up there. And you know, there's nothing we can do about it being hot, but we can try to mitigate, you know, some of the effects of being hot, right? Sometimes when you're up there, though, and the fan's blowing on you, it's kind of annoying. So, kind of depends on who you are, I guess. Sometimes I don't like the fan blowing on me, especially with my long hair. Okay. Definitely going to need to glue these, but we'll do that later when this thing's actually ready to drive. Matt, I got my FuryTech Cayman all set up and working pretty good. And then I got my money truck. I call it my money truck. It's my SCX-24 deadbolt that has like just a bunch of dumb expensive shit on it. So it's got the FuryTech like grasshopper chassis that's carbon fiber. It's got the hot racing overdrive transmission now on it, and it's got an EcoPower servo. That was only $8.99, so it's not a big deal. I would like to get the reef servo on it though, so I got to get the reef's mount and then put the reef servo on it. So that's going to be a little pricey. And then I got a bunch of brass on it and stuff. So anyways, this truck, I call it the money truck because that's what it is. Money pit truck. And it works really, really good on the course now. It's really fun. But my Cayman is unique because it's portal axle, and I don't have any FCX24 wheels. I had to use these Samix offset wheels, and so it's wider. So it's a little bit wider than a standard SCX24. But it still works really good, though. The Cayman's actually pretty capable, very capable truck. So, Smoking Rat says someone should make a body that looks like a bank armored car. You know, Proline makes like a armored military truck body for a crawler. I'm not sure if they still. Oh, geez, I'm not sure if they still have it out or not. I don't think we've ever sold it either. We might have it at the Plex, because I don't remember us ever needing to reorder that thing. It's kind of ugly, and it doesn't really fit anything, you know. So it'd be mainly for somebody that's really trying to make a military style truck. I think, obviously not a bank truck, but similar, very similar in style, and just as big. I think it'd be cool to have like a whole Grand Theft Auto like car lineup. This sucks. I feel like I'm gonna break my wrench. It's like I almost need pliers. Come on. Come on. You know what? Maybe that's what I'm gonna do. I need just pliers. It's leverage. Just gotta get some leverage. Oh, you butthole. I had it. Alright. Just gotta start it. It's like a surgeon. Got it. Kind of got it. You know, I had never actually owned a clodbuster before until I built that bullhead above me. But I've never had to take clodbuster tires off before. This is annoyingly difficult because it's so tight on there. I'm sure there's like some monster truck guy that's gonna watch this and be like, "That son of a bitch ain't doing it right. You gotta do it this way." There we go. Matt Lang says, check out Olive RC on YouTube. He makes bodies from styrene. We had a kid working for us, Grant, that used to have a couple bodies that he had modified out of styrene. Did a really good job. I mean, he was freaking genius with them. He made the pizza truck from Toy Story with one of them. Looked awesome when it was done. I saw Jason Haley up there. Those tires look too big for a T6.2. They are. I got about as far as I needed to tonight with my T6. We got the body mounted, the shocks back on, and I took a look to see what kind of diff it had, and it's got a ball diff. So tomorrow I gotta buy a gear diff. They're like $36, I think. So it won't be too terrible, and Never hurts to have an extra one anyways. I actually have, it's one of the things I have, it's one of the things that I'm actually ahead of with my car, my two-wheel drive, is that I have ball diffs already built in case, yeah, this one's brand new. So basically I have it built and ready to go in case I have a crunchy diff and I'm in a pinch, like a time pinch. So I have usually at least one good diff lying around. I might have two. Yep. And then this one I think is a junk one. I think so. I think this is a junk one. So never hurts to have stuff like that extra lying around. The turtle van. That would be a good one. You know, there's a market out there of like RC, like toy RC cars. What's that company called? They're at Walmart. New Bright. There's a lot of these guys will get their hard bodies from New Bright RC cars that you buy at like Walmart and stuff, and they'll just literally just take the body off of it, junk the car, and just use the body. And I know for a fact that that's how they were doing Broncos for a while before the Broncos came around for the TRX4 and Proline started making their Bronco, is they were getting the, I guess New Bright had a hard body Bronco RC car out there somewhere, and it was perfect size to fit on a crawler. So that's how they were getting that on there. But I bet you could find, because I vaguely remember there being a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle van RC from somewhere in the 90s, I think. I'm pretty sure. I don't know what scale it was, but that'd be, if you could find it, if you could locate something like that, man, that would be freaking sweet. That'd be a good monster truck to have too. Like for this, like put it on something like a Clodbuster or Blackfoot or something like that. I think that'd be pretty neat. Alright, where'd my truck go? There it is. Okay. The Clodbuster's symmetrical, so you gotta look at it and go, where's the front? Oh, this is the front. Okay. Alright, very good. We have found the front of the Clodbuster. And if you've never done a Clodbuster before, so they have hexes, but they got these little brass hexes, and they got teeth, right? So there's no drive pin. So they just roll onto this axle that has these little splines in it. And then it's got your wheel, it's got these nubs. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. There's these little nubs here. And you get the nubs, and they just sort of, right there, they just sort of slide in place. And then it still uses a 7mm nut. So Walmart sold a large Lightning McQueen plastic toy car that you could remove the body, and the wheelbase was perfect for a slash. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be a good one. Yeah, so the hex isn't on the rim. The hex is, it's in these cups here. So, so this goes on the wheel, or on the axle, I'm sorry. This goes on the axle, like that. And then it's got these holes, and the wheel fits into those holes, and that's how it holds on to the wheel. It's pretty neat. It's old school. So it's still a hex, but it's a little different. So you don't really have to worry about stripping out the wheel itself. So like it's kind of like an old way of doing how Proline's doing their like basher wheels and tires now is if you strip something, you're going to strip that brass piece and the axle. So where'd these go? There it is. Well, it's a different way to do things, but it's an old way. It's the old Tamiya way of doing it with their clodbusters, so it's not that common anymore, if common at all, actually. Move that mic for him. That way you guys don't hear that bumping. And one more. Are they pointing at each other? Oh, they are pointing at each other. Oh, I did this one wrong. Did I mount that wrong? I didn't mount that wrong, did I? No, I know what I did. Okay. Derp-der. Yep. Man. It's good to be back. After Hours. We get to watch Alex screw things up every once in a while. Okay. Hey, big dude's on here. How's it going? Now they should be the same, right? Yep, there they go. Ha-ha! Ha-ha! Come on, get in there. There we go. Still watch the Big Dude says still watch the Monday show. Yeah, you know, I knew you were gonna ask that. Yeah, every once in a while, like a couple weeks ago, Richard was sick, so my sister was the actual operator of all the audio and stuff. And I noticed on the replay that my mic was super low, and Will's mic was up, and I don't know. It kind of sounds like in my headphones and stuff. I can't tell what it sounds like with you guys on the other end, you know. So when I watch the replay, sometimes I see stuff. The thing is like because we do that live, stuff like that sort of happens. But then he usually fixes it for the actual podcast that goes out on iTunes and stuff. So he usually fixes that in post. So there you go. All the chevrons are pointing the right way. Brand new tires. They're shiny. They're sticky. And all I got to do now is actually get the body done. And I should be able to run this thing eventually. I was thinking it'd be cool to like break it out for something like the ProTech race or something. I don't know. But I just like to tinker with it every once in a while too. So Plus, those tires were taking up a buttload of space in my room because the packages were so big. So that looks really good. I like it. That's pretty rad. Now I just got to get the steering figured out too. So okay. I think with that, I'm going to bail. You guys have been great. The ones that have been here for a while. Yeah, exactly, Jason. I was thinking like a pace car or something like that. So should be really good. Maybe next time I'm on, I'm going to transfer these Kashima shocks over to my my dirt car, my B6. Will got them for me, and I put a weird piston and oil setup on them for hobby action, and they didn't quite feel right, so I took them off. And but I want to put those because they're obviously the better shock bodies and shock shafts and stuff. So I'll do that next time for my dirt cars. We get closer to dirt season. I'm thinking about switching cars again. I was going to try the Losi car this spring at least. See where that gets me. It's been a couple years, so, and I don't think they're going to have like a new two-wheel drive anytime soon. I think we probably won't see something like that till maybe after the Worlds this year. So, so I'm confident in buying one and not having not having a new car come out like right away. So that's what happened last year with my associated car. So we had one left at the store. So I bought a B6.3 D in March, and then they came out with a new two-wheel drive like April. So I was like, damn it, like this thing's brand new. I don't want to get a new car. So I held off getting a new car. I ran the first I think the Pro Tech race in the first round of the summer series with the B6 3, and then I drove Will's after that race, and I'm like, all right, I got to get the new one. So I ended up selling my old one to somebody local, and then I can't remember who it was, but and then I ended up getting the B6.4, and the B6.4 has been my favorite so far. So I'm leery about trying another new car, but that's what I do. I like to change it up every once in a while, try something new, something different. So, but I'm not going to get rid of this car either, in case I don't like it. Then I can just got my car ready to go, put electronics back into it, and have at it. So that's the plan. But I'm going to put these on these Kashima shocks on next time. So, the Smoking Rat says, figure out a way to mount a flag to the body, use it as a pace car. Yeah. So, there was a track. Where was that track at? I think it was, I think it might have been Racem RC when they were around in Rockford, Illinois. And we went to a big race. Actually, those two blue ones that say first right there, it was that race. It was in 2015. And they did the national anthem. And I'm pretty sure that they had the monster truck driving around with the flag on it. So we should do something like that. That'd be fun. Something kind of cool. And I don't think that's original either. I think other places have done that too. I think I've seen it at like an oval track and somewhere else, but I can't remember the name. Yeah, Chili members. You remember? I remember. So, I think that's about it for tonight. If you want to have a good time on YouTube tonight, when we're done here, is find Farmer Phil 22. I think that's his name, right? Chili, isn't it? Farmer Phil 22. Farmer Phil 22. Hang on, I bet you. Farmer Phil 22. and he's got a playlist on there of the guy's been filming RC car races for forever, right? And so he's got. I was showing Emerson this the other night. He's got like an entire summer of club racing from their outdoor track from like 2003, and because Mac Vanderbeek went to the ProTech Jam at Fastlane this weekend. My son went there. It was his first time going to a race without me, right? And he did really well. We'll not worry about that. I talked about that in the podcast anyways. But Mac Vanderbeek also went on Sunday, so he didn't qualify, but he showed up Sunday, started last in all the mains, bumped up in expert stock, bumped up all the way up to the A main, and finished third after two double mains. And I was telling him, I'm like, dude, Mac and I have been racing together for so long, and then I remembered that that Farmer Phil has these videos up, and in the Outback, is it Outback Championship or whatever, in that playlist, there's a race of I think all the A mains. I think he ended up beating me that weekend, but I was showing him one of the mains, and Max started like fifth or something, and I started either first or second. I think it was second, and in the end we finished like nose to tail. And I showed that video to Emerson about just how long Mac and I have been racing. Longer than 2003, obviously, but that's some of the first video proof that I know of. So thought that was pretty neat. And he's got other races on there too. He's got like our old Novak race when it was cold, 2012. We had like 300 something entries. We didn't have a heater yet. And we used like a diesel kerosene heater, and it worked, but it also filled the place up with diesel fumes, like kerosene fumes. Probably wasn't good for us, but it did warm it up. But anyways, he's got that video on there. He's got a lot of our carpet crashing stuff, a lot of our bigger, older videos. He also has a 2004 stock Nats. That's another one that I like to go back and reminisce about every once in a while. So that's a fun channel to go take a peek at some older race videos. And then Chili, he's got one too, Iowa RC Tracks. He goes back a ways too. And I always like to watch the old Hobby Haven championship races that he's got on there too every once in a while, especially the ones where I win. So, but anyways, yeah, that's it for tonight. I'll find something to do next week. I've got a couple of weeks where I'm not doing anything. That's why I'm on tonight. So 3 weeks from now, I'll be in the middle of getting the track ready for our next techno race. But I'm gonna try to come on next week too, and find something to do. So appreciate you guys hanging in there and watching this on playback. Thank you too. And yeah, I'll talk to you later. I gotta go to bed. See ya.